explain all these jokes. I can take Bill aside and explain all these. Ponders. You gonna get our officials there, buddy, or we're gonna wait till the end of the second quarter before we get them this time? Let's go over there and text them. And we welcome you back to the Keith Gilbertson Sports and Fitness Center at Snohomish High School. Tom Lafferty back with you, along with Bill Kusler, our statistician Pat Castro, audio graphics by Buddy Patrick. Our director of craft services this evening now is Hans Thorson, and our in-studio network producer is Brandon Hamilton. Mark Ockett is going to be leaving the building here. Mike Buchholz will join us as well on the broadcast here for the last game of 4 here at the Snohomish High School Gymnasium, the Keith Gilbertson Sports and Fitness Center. Game 1 earlier today, Monroe beat Liberty 51-37. Game 2, Woodinville blew out Snohomish 52-31, and in a game that was just an absolute barn burner from start to finish. The Jackson Timberwolves from the Wesco 4A South beat the number 3 ranked team in the 3A state, the Everett Seagulls, 78-74. Bill Kusler, what a great ball game that was.
That was just a tremendous game to watch. Watching Mark and Mike do the broadcast, sitting behind and just getting to watch the flow of that game, and for Jackson to have 3 players with 20 or more points, to score 46 points and a half, and then have Everett come roaring back and take the lead, and then Jackson finally established their will right at the end to victory. But that was a tremendous ball game. So we've had 3 interesting ball games for different reasons. That opening game, Monroe was behind most of the game, then went on a 23-3 run to end the game and end up winning by 14. And then we just saw a Woodinville team that pressed all over the floor and was just totally dominant in that ball game. And then finally, this last game, 2 really high-scoring, high-caliber teams meeting. A shame that one of those 2 teams had to lose.
And Mike Buchholz, watching that last game that you and Mark did together, we were sitting up behind saying, you know, this could be a game that's going to be played in the 70s, and that was after about 4 minutes of the first quarter.
One of my former players who did a little coaching, Cassie Saunders, she used to always say, first team to 54 wins. And I remember looking at the scoreboard, and both teams were at 54 with about 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. I said, no, this is going to be a little bit beyond that. I don't know that I've played in a game where I've had 3 players score in the 20s before for either team.
Yeah.
So to see that was and you can't really say it was poor defense, because I thought both teams worked very hard on the defense. They just did a really good job of moving the basketball and hitting the open shot.
So let's talk about the game coming up. We're not going to get a chance to talk with the coaches, but Mike, you just did talk with Dennis Clokey of the Stanwood Spartans. They've been kind of battling the injury bug a little bit here to start their season, although they come in at 4-1 with a 2-0 league record.
Coach Clokey was joking that he's had a tough time suiting up 10 at practice, and his daughter is one of the assistant coaches. She played at the University of Idaho, which that helps having that luxury of having her play. But he said he's been playing a little bit, and I said, well, I feel sorry for you if you're
Did you ever have to do that when you coach, get in there and play just to get a quorum?
Well, I did that when I was younger, and I just got injured. I was helping out with the 7th and 8th grade JV boys, and the joke was I was demonstrating a 360 dunk, but that's not really. The only thing I was dunking was a donut, and I still got hurt. So,
But Stanwood's a pretty good ball club.
They are a very good ball club. They made the playoffs last year. They will be without their 6-foot post player tonight, Tristan Murphy. But they've been playing pretty solid basketball, just the one loss to Arlington.
One loss to Arlington a little earlier in a non-league game. Issaquah Eagles coming in at 4-2 in overall. They're 4-0 in league play. And Bill, there's another good team coming out of that Kinko 4A.
Yeah, they're an excellent ball club. Got 2 really good scores, and Mandy Hill averaging almost 19 points per ball game, the number 2 scorer in the Kinko, and then Mackenzie Weiberg averaging about 13 points per game. But they're another team that's not very big. They've got a couple players, 3 players at 5'10", but nobody over that height. And so it'll be interesting to see, two teams that are a little bit smaller and the type of style of play that they employ tonight.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First for the Stanwood Spartans, they will start Sierra Palmer, a 5'7" senior. They'll also start a 5'8" junior, Julia Heichel. They'll start a 5'8" senior, Samantha Powell. Also a 5'10" sophomore, Haley Strobridge. And they'll start a 5'9" senior, Jillian Jacobs. Although the starters for Dennis Clokey's Stanwood Spartans. For the Issaquah Eagles, they'll start a 5'7" junior, Sophie Foreman. Also a 5'7" senior, Mandy Hill. A Sarah Heigl, who is a 5'4" senior, will start for the Issaquah Eagles. Also a 5'9" senior, Josie Crisafulli. And they will start finally Mackenzie Weiberg, a 5'10" senior. So those are the starters for the Issaquah Eagles. Today's opening tip-off and game action. Game 4 of the 2013 Snohomish Holiday Tournament continues right after this timeout on Fox Sports 1380.
For Issaquah, standing at 5'9", a senior, number 21, Josie Crisafulli. For Stanwood, standing at 5'10", a sophomore, number 25, Haley Strobridge. Rounding out the lineup for Issaquah, number 32, standing at 5'10", a senior, Mackenzie Weaver. Rounding out the lineup for Stanwood, standing at 5'9", a senior, number 30, Julian Jacobs. The Stanwood Spartans are head coached by Dennis Cloak. The Issaquah girls are head coached by Bob Ritchie. Tonight's officials are Stacy Hasselbrook, Mike Cashman, and Mark Hedges. Let's play basketball.
How much time, Brandon? We're going to bag that. We get underway here with Issaquah taking on the Stanwood, and the Stanwood Spartans will put up the first shot just a few seconds into the contest, and Haley Strobridge will miss a three ball from way out topside. Ball goes out of bounds, so give it right back over to the Issaquah Eagles, and they have their first possession of the football game. Football game? How about the basketball game? And their first possession, it results in a field goal for 3 points. It's up, and it is good by Mandy Hill. For the Issaquah Eagles, they have the early 3-0 lead over the Stanwood Spartan. Now Stanwood with the basketball. Turnaround move. It's going to be knocked away and then grabbed back over to the left-hand side. Three ball on the way. This one will rattle and go for Samantha Powell, the 5'8" senior. Ties the score at 3-3.
Looks like we're going to have a good high-scoring ball game just like we did in the last game. 3-3, both teams hitting threes.
Bounce pass goes over to the left-hand side for Issaquah. They've got Sarah Heigl with it. She'll run the point along with Mandy Hill. Hill out between the circles with a left-handed dribble. Looks right, goes left. The left with a pass over to Sarah Heigl. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Heigl dribble drive across the top of the key. Stops and then gets rid of the basketball over to the right side for a three ball. That's an air ball. No good. Sophie Foreman. Offside rebound back up. No, it never touched anything. So it'll be called on the turnover for the shot clock violation.
Of course, you don't hit the rim, the clock doesn't reset even though a shot has been taken. That was an air ball, and so Stanwood lucked out a little bit that way as Issaquah had the putback, but it was after the horn.
A 3-3 tie. No, they're going to call a blocking foul down on the baseline as it went over to the left-hand side, and see who they're going to grab. They're going to say it's going to be, he wanted eye contact. 32. They're going to call Mackenzie Weiberg, the 5'10 senior, for her first personal foul, first team foul. Inbounds pass for a 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Putback is going to be up, and it's going to be no good. The first one was taken by Julia Heichel. The second by Samantha Powell. Doesn't matter. Neither one are going in the book. Both, Mike, with those misses.
Both teams not being particularly patient. They're both willing to shoot the thing from the outside. So if they get hot, we could look to see another high-scoring game.
A 3-3 tie, looking for a penetration pass down low. They get it, then kicked it back out for a 3. This one will go up, and it'll go in for Issaquah's Josie Crisafulli. Puts it up and in, and it's a 6-3 lead for Issaquah. The Eagles out of the Kinko 4A. Over to the left-hand side, good spot for a 3. It's another 3 that goes down, this time for Stanwood's Haley Strobridge. 2.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to say 2.
Yeah, foot was on the line.
Ooh, we will erase and put that back. It's a 6-5 ball game. Here's an overplay on the defense and a steal. Jillian Jacobs gets it for Stanwood. Then it's going to be stolen right back and grabbed by Issaquah. Out they go for a penetration pass down to the point guard underneath Mandy Hill. Missed the lay-in up, no good, and the foul is going to be called. Foul whistled there as they got the pass down to the baseline, and they're going to whistle the foul for Issaquah, and it's going to call this one on Mackenzie Weiberg, the 5'10 senior, her first personal foul, second personal foul, second team foul. Up the floor, Stanwood. In the corner, will they get 3 in a row? Yes, from deep in the corner, Haley Strobridge. Mikey got to put somebody out and put a fan in her face.
Yeah, both teams playing man-to-man defense, with both teams doing a lot of penetrate and pitch, leading to the open 3-point shots.
Looked like a kickball there, but they're not going to call it. They're just going to, here we go, play on. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Issaquah down by 2 as Stanwood has their first lead of the ball game, and then a whistle. They're going to count the bucket, and the foul will be called. So the bucket going through makes it an 8-8 score. Mandy Hill is going to the free throw line, and the foul called on Stanwood's Haley Strobridge, the 5'10 sophomore, her first personal foul, first team foul.
Great body control underneath as she allowed the defender to fly by and kind of just flip around, bent around, put the lay in, got the free throw for the 3-point play, and Mandy Hill, their leading scorer, now with 6 points on the night. And
our second lead change of the ball game is Issaquah back out to a lead, up 9-8. We're 2 minutes into the contest. 3 minutes into the contest, actually. Over the left-hand side, going in, dribble drive with the right hand. It's going to be up, no good, by Julia Heichel. Ball's carried out of bounds. Last touch by the Issaquah Eagles, so it'll be Stanwood basketball. 28 on the shot clock underneath their own hoop. Stanwood in the home white jerseys, trimmed in red and silver. On the inbounds, it comes out to the top of the key. A little fadeaway jumper from 12. It's going to be no good by Palmer. Putback is going to be no good. Again, they reload. Stanwood gets it back. A couple of offensive rebounds here. Going in, Palmer misses the lay-in. So she was 0 for 3, I think, on that possession. Up the floor, here comes Issaquah. They don't have the numbers. They'll slow things down and wait for everybody to join them in front court down to our left. Issaquah in their purple uniforms, trimmed in white. Moving to our left. Back to the basket out top side is Josie Crisafulli. Goes cross court and over here, and Mike, you can just about get that one right at your feet as it comes toward you.
Yeah, well, right at my feet, that's a long reach for me, so it's going to have to hit me in the hands, and I got to be wide open.
So inbounds now for Stanwood, 9-8 Issaquah. Game 4 of the tournament here at Snohomish. Good crowd on hand for the third game, and lots of folks stayed around for this last game. And going in, Haley Strobridge puts up another shot, puts it in, and she's got 7 points in the ball game of the 10 scored by Stanwood.
Averaging 7 points per ball game so far in the year. She's already matched her season average.
Here's a shot up, and it is good on the other end. Mandy Hill puts it up and in, and back to a lead for Issaquah, our fourth lead change of this basketball game here in the early going. Another close one here at Snohomish this evening. Down low, turnover, bad pass. Mandy Hill with a steal. Hill has it, bounce pass over to the left-hand side. Hit Tatum Dow, breaking to the hoop, and she got hit from the side, and she will go to the free throw line, and the foul is going to be called here. And they're going to call Stanwood's Jillian Jacobs with the foul. The 5'9 senior picks up her first personal foul, second team foul.
Well, Mandy Hill not only a scorer, but that time, a little 2-on-2 fast break, and she was covered, drew the defender, and then kicked the ball over, very willing to share the basketball.
First free throw is no good for Mandy Hill.
I was going to say, I thought that was an ill-advised foul because the pass did take the player underneath the basket, and I don't think she was going to make that anyway, so it was unfortunate for Stanwood.
Correction, Tatum Dow missed both those free throws, so still 11-10 lead for Issaquah. Stanwood with the basketball now. They like that spot. This time it won't go from the left baseline. The putback no good. First shot by Julian Heichel, and then Strobridge got the rebound, put it up, and she missed the lay-in, and she will throw it in from the she's going to go get the basketball. She's going to they make her that's going to shoot, run, and grab the basketball from out of bounds.
Well, she's hustling all over the floor, even when the ball's dead, so got to give her credit for that.
So the foul's on Tatum Dow, her first personal foul, third team foul in Issaquah. First free throw, no good for Haley Strobridge. She's out of breath from running to retrieve the basketball down in the corner there. Next one will go. And that will tie us for the second time in the ball game. It's an 11-11 score with 3:11 to play here in the opening quarter. It's Stanwood and Issaquah. Game 4 of 4 at Snohomish. Dribble drive along the left baseline. Somebody's got to stand in front of somebody there because Sarah Heigl, an unmolested lay-in right around all the defenders.
The defender really overplaying the screen, and she just went backdoor the other way and had an unmolested lay-in.
And then here's a partially blocked shot and an interception by Issaquah. Up the floor they come. Left-hand side going in. Lay-in too hard, no good by Mandy Hill. And a foul is going to be called.
Mandy Hill, for not being especially tall, going to win this game, she's average height 5'7", but she's quite creative when she gets the ball inside and finds herself back at the free throw line.
So Hill will be at the line. The foul was on Strobridge, her second personal foul. And the third team foul. Strobridge will go to the bench. And Sierra Palmer will check back in for Dennis Clokey's Stanwood Spartans.
Strobridge with 8 out of Stanwood's 11 points, and she'll have to sit in foul trouble. Weiberg has 2 for Issaquah. She's their second leading scorer, so 2 players in foul trouble, 1 for each ball club, and both of them key offensively.
Issaquah back out to their biggest lead of the game at 3 points, 14-11, and then Stanwood comes down and has kind of an unforced error and steps out of bounds, and it will be Issaquah basketball. On the turnover, Issaquah with it now. Kind of a high dribble, Mandy Hill. Goes left side to Foreman, back to Hill again, out top of the key. Looks right, goes left, dribbles through traffic, and then gets it off to Foreman again. Back out top of the key for Tatum Dow. 3 ball on the way, rattles off, no good. Offside rebound taken down by Sierra Palmer. Here comes Stanwood. Spartans out of backcourt, bring it up the left-hand side. That's Samantha Powell, closed off at the baseline. Kick it back out on top of the key. Powell gets it back, give and go feed. Nicely done for the lay-in by Sierra Palmer.
Sweet job, Sierra Palmer redeemed herself for that unforced error. Played good defense down at one end and then gets a give and go at the other end.
Minute 54 to go, opening quarter, a 14-13 lead with Issaquah in the lead. They have the basketball and a little running kind of a underhanded hook shot. It's going to be no good by Sarah Heigl. Stanwood clears, here they come. Spartans out of backcourt measuring for a 3. Heigl did not take it. Instead, she probably should have because it was stripped away from her by Sophie Foreman. Up the floor they come, Sarah Heigl. Heigl gets it over to the right-hand side. Up and down goes Hope Dahlquist and commits the turnover, and it'll give it right back to Stanwood, which is right now down by 1, 14-13.
Nevertheless, I get the sense that the tempo is just a hair too quick for Issaquah. I think Mandy Hill likes this tempo, but I'm not so sure that the rest of the players do.
They don't score as many points, 54.5 points per ball game. Issaquah does going in. The scoop lay-in is up, and it is good. Bob Ritchie's up. He's either singing a couple of sets of Sinatra or he didn't like not having a call because he's got both arms outstretched. He's having a little conversation with the official as he goes by. Stanwood back to the lead, our 5th lead change of the ball game, 15-14, coming up in a minute to play. Mandy Hill has it, right side of the key, puts it up and puts it in from the right side for a nice lay-in.
Yeah, they got the ball to the right player that time. They're setting an offside diagonal screen. That time it was for Hill. And as we mentioned earlier, she finishes inside.
16-15, Issaquah by 1, foul call. Double team there on the right side was Samantha Powell, and they're going to get Mandy Hill for the foul for the Issaquah Eagles. For Hill, her first. And it will be the 4th team foul. And Hill will go to the bench, and Lauren Longo, no relation to Roberto Luongo, the goaltender for the Vancouver Canucks. Here's a shot on the way, right-hand side. Maybe it is. Lisa Watson comes off no good. Cleared out by Issaquah. Dribble drive going in, kind of out of control. A lay-in, no good. Second lay-in is good. Tatum Dow got it. Went around the defender, laid it up too hard. Got it back, put it back up and in. It's back to a 3-point lead at 18-15.
That's what it shows you why it's so important to follow your shot and keep into the game even when you miss one, because you can come back and get a putback.
Here's a 17-footer. That's a 2 just inside the lineup and good for Julia Heichel. Down to 9, down to 8. Here comes Issaquah with it. Down to 7, down to 6. Left-hand side, it's to Tatum Dow. Down to 3, down to 2. Shot on the way, ribs off, no good by Sophie Foreman. We've reached the end of a entertaining first quarter of action here at Snohomish High School. Our score, the Issaquah Eagles 18 and the Stanwood Spartans 17. This is Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball on Fox Sports.